Hey guys. Um, so I started my YouTube channel and my Facebook page last year. About this time, actually, maybe a few months prior to this last year, because I had a lot of people that kept asking me the same questions over and over about my space and how I was schooling and what I had planned. And it was just easier for me to do the videos and the page and to share it that way. I had intentions of updating regularly, and I apologize, but last year was crazy. I had everything planned out probably by the end of May, definitely by the end of May. And I had all of our curriculum purchased. I had everything laid out. I thought that things were going to go a certain way. And then at the end of June last year, my husband got laid off. And he was laid off for 6.5 months. Last year, we also had some hurdles concerning Brother Bear, my middle kid. He'd been going through a lot of stuff, and we were really struggling with it. And we kind of last resort took him to a doctor and tried to find out what was going on. And once we did that, we had to make some adjustments to try to put an end to some of the difficulties. So we dealt with all of that. It was also the homeschool co-op locally that we belong to. I just started it 1.5 years ago, so last August was the beginning of our first full year with the co-op, and we were at I think maybe 100 families in August. We were planning field trips, we were having parties. There was a lot going on, and I had not expected it to be such a big thing. So it ended up taking up a lot of my time. I was teaching 2 different clubs for the group. I was planning most of the field trips, and we were doing 2, 3, 4 field trips a month. Plus just the regular planning and organization of a group. And it got overwhelming. There were a lot of leadership related issues that we ended up dealing with. And with it being our first year, there was just a lot of growing pains that I don't expect to face this year. In addition, I've gotten some other local folks to step up and help me out. And so with the workload spread across more people, hypothetically, this year shouldn't be so difficult. So because of all of that, it got crazy last year, and I couldn't keep up with posts and questions, and life just got crazy. I'm not gonna promise you that I'll do any better this year. Right now, the next 2 months, we're at that lull of summer where we just wrapped up last year. We're not starting next year until end of July, beginning of August, somewhere middle of August. I haven't actually even decided that yet. But there's a lot of planning. And so this is kind of the point where I crank out a ton of videos, so you guys can get caught up and hear about what's going on. This upcoming year, still got my 3 kids, still leading the co-op, even though it'll be less work. Cross my fingers, hoping. I am still going to be teaching a couple of classes for our group, but I've also taken on a teaching position with another local homeschool co-op. So I will be teaching classes there as well, and that is a paid position. So that will help us hopefully at least cover our homeschooling expenses, our field trips and memberships and those things. But it might also help with, living bills and things like that, especially because of last year. So this year, very different. I am going to be posting a couple of videos. I'll show you my planner for this year. I'll go over curriculum that we're going to use this year. I'm sure there will be some other ones. So be on the lookout for those. And if you guys have anything specifically you want me to talk about, or if you have any questions, post in the comments. I do read, I do respond, and if it's something that I can actually take the time and make a video on, I'll go ahead and do that for you. So ask away. All right?